Welcome to the Coins and Connections podcast with me, Cinquanta Cox-Smith. We're talking books, business, and of course, a little bit of bullshit. If you're looking for inspiration, motivation, or just a good time, you've come to the right place. Ready, set, let's go! The lady said, "Oh my God, your hair is so neat and nice. Who did it?" I said, "Me." Hey, coin snatchers, welcome to the Hustle Files Chronicles of a Side Hustler's Success, Failures, and Lessons Learned. Today, I'll be talking about my hair hustle. So, I'll answer how I started, how I advertise, what I learned, and what I would do differently now. So, this is how I started my hair hustle. I started braiding and taking an interest in doing hair before the age of 10. I would like braid dolls' hair with my cousins. And I also had a cousin who did hair as well. So as I got older, maybe like middle school, me and one of my best friends started experimenting with weave extensions, mainly like braid and crochet hair, right? So we would braid each other's hair back and forth, absolutely just learning, experimenting, trial and error. But by the time I got into high school, I would start to experiment with different styles. I had one time bleached my hair with box dye. I put Clorox in my hair, and I've just pretty much taken on a role of just experimenting what I like, how I wanted to wear my hair. And I eventually decided to take up cosmetology for a year. So by the time I graduated high school, I was pretty much just familiar with learning to do new styles on my own and how to do someone's hair. One of the ways that I market this business, just continuing to thrive in that, I would say, in that hobby. I went off to the military. I had a ballsy. I did the whole GI Jane thing. But while I was there were many girls in basic training who wanted just some like cornrows, some straight backs, and to just help with their hair, whether that was like adding weave or anything like that. And I did this between basic training and AIT, and I would just do their hair. So by the time that I got to my duty station in New York, I was braiding my friend's hair who also like went to AIT and basic with me. We had stayed friends. We ended up being at the same duty stations. So they knew I could braid. So I started doing their hair. But when I found out I was pregnant, I was pretty much like in the barracks or whatever, kind of bored. So I had friends who started referring me to people to do their braids. And that kind of pushed me along in this journey, right? So when I found out I was pregnant, I started to just braid hair and I would frequent this hair store. The hair store that I frequent, one day I think the lady was like, "Well, do you do hair?" I have this list, and it was so funny because she had it on a notebook. And what you would do is you would just add your name to the notebook and write your number down. And if anyone who came in her store looking for braiders or stylists, they could contact you. So imagine this. We're on like T-Mobile razors, flip phones, Nokios, and you would have someone contact you. They couldn't FaceTime you. You couldn't send pictures. So it was basically they were trusting you with a wing and a prayer, right? So they would contact you to get their hair done, and they would just be like really trusting. And it was good for me because I could actually do hair. So to the point where I had people come into my home, I had people asking for like a quick weave, bobs, braids. I even did, I think, a few kids' hair. But the main thing a lot of people wanted back then was micro braids. Even when I left New York, I still had people calling my phone asking to do their hair. So eventually I did let the lady know, "Hey, I've moved. So now you can go ahead and take me off this list." Now, through all of that, here is what I learned. So I learned that I had possessed a skill that people would pay for. So even till this day, I've done hair in the past. I do my daughter hair mainly, and that's pretty much about it in mine as well. But what it taught me is that as long as one person believes in your skill and like your work, they would tell someone else. So word of mouth is literally still the best advertisement that you can get, even now, right? I also learned to not be scared to put myself out there. Because of that, I was able to make money while pregnant with both of my kids. Now, in today's time, things that I would do differently, I would have probably charged more and then also put more money back into my skill in the products, because back then I heavily rely on clients to bring certain stuff. And if I were to start doing hair again, I wouldn't do it in my home. I would be clear on what I provide and how, and have some boundaries as well as non-negotiables. A mistake that I would avoid is probably taking on more clients in one day than I can handle. So honestly, I would probably do one head a day and not ever try to be greedy, right? So we have come to the end of the hair hustle. So let's recap. The key lessons from my hair hustle is that passion can lead to profit. Word of mouth is powerful. Confidence is key. To set boundaries and value your time, reinvent yourself, and adapt and professionalize your craft. So I want you guys to not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to this episode. So if you enjoyed this episode of the Hustle Files series, next time we'll be talking about the cell phone hustle. Thanks for tuning in to the Coins and Connections podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. Until next time.